Hi guys, Asian movie recaps here. Today we will be retelling another great movie. Meanwhile, please like and subscribe to our channel so that we can continue to provide movie recaps with plot twists and interesting storylines. It may only take a few seconds for you. Let's get started. Will you do anything to protect your biggest secrets? How far are you willing to go to keep it hidden? The Haruta Tsukuruta is a classical case of deeply impossible standards of physical perfection. Join us as we explore all this in the story. The Haruta Tsukuruta features Lilico, a successful model and television celebrity. You could hardly turn to any billboard advertisements without finding her face in them. Her perfect doll-like features and curvy figure were highly sought after. She tyrannizes those around her when she is not playing the pixie or vamp for the flashing cameras in a dazzling array of frocks. Lilico was nothing more than a spoiled brat who threw a tantrum at every little thing. At one particular incident, she balefully spits a mouthful of bottled water in her manager's face because it's the wrong brand. Amidst all the glamour and tyranny of Lilico's life, she has a deep, dark secret. She was a marvel of technology, nearly everything about lied by a pricey, ethics-free plastic surgery clinic. Lilico finds herself in a situation in which her plastic surgeries start breaking down and she grows desperate and starts lashing out at everyone around her. To top it all off, Toda, her manager who was not only in charge of her plastic surgery but also made Lilico into what she was, introduced Lilico to Koju Yoshikawa, whose natural beauty and friendly demeanor have made her a popular fashion icon among women worldwide. Koju's growing popularity leaves Lilico in a desperate situation. Her natural beauty is a huge threat to Lilico. Lilico's greatest fear is being forgotten, but she also recognizes how empty and worthless fame is. After a montage of Lilico's early life, and her success as a model in which she goes through photoshoot after a photoshoot, fawned upon by magazine with her photo sells at an insanely fast rate. Meanwhile, the sounds of it as a sonic metaphor for Lilico's fame. However, this is immediately contrasted with a subsequent silence at the end of her public appearances. Lilico's happy and energetic face gives way to a tired and empty one. She zones out in her chair while taking out some medicine. She then mutters to her makeup artist, "I feel like every time her fame, that's all she's ever known and all she has ever had." The plan Lilico has to defend her gradually contracting circle of opportunities consists mostly of emotional blackmail. She uses sex and threats to keep her manager and her manager's boyfriend in line, and the two of them are too terrified and intimidated by her, not just her, but the shadow of her reputation causes them to step back. While Lilico is battling her problems, the public prosecutor and his assistant find out something extremely suspicious about the clinic in which Lilico undergoes her surgeries. Further investigation leads to mysterious suicides and organ thefts. The public prosecutor now strongly believes that Lilico and her unnatural beauty could be the key to uncovering an underground industry of dangerous medical practices and saving lives. In a particular incident in which the inspector was spending time with Lilico's younger sister, Chiharu, the inspector is given a photo of what Lilico used to look like. This makes him the third person that knows about Lilico's dark secret. He later meets with Lilico and cautions her that she may not be able to keep hiding behind her unnatural beauty, give up on her celebrity lifestyle yet. She didn't take the inspector's warning to heart and eventually, Lilico meets with her younger sister who complains to her about all the problems she keeps facing in school. While Chiharu expected genuine advice from her sister, Lilico selfishly suggests that her sister lose weight through a full body makeover with plastic surgery. The advice leaves Chiharu extremely uncomfortable, leaving her wondering when her sister's behavior took such a bad turn. It also made her realize that the Lilico came out on the problem of how she would lose her weight. The inspector sympathetically suggested that she goes for a more natural approach by exercising and eating healthier. Lilico on the other hand continues to feel threatened by Koju, and in an attempt to keep staying ahead of her, forces her wasn't much of a success. It never came to Lilico's attention that Koju wasn't much interested in fame. This is made visible in a discussion in which Toda asks Koju what she wants to do in 5 years at the end of her contract if she intends to keep modeling. To Toda's surprise, Koju said she looks forward to living a normal, obscure life and doesn't really care if anyone long worked for her agency and is one of the 3 people privy to Lilico's deep dark secret, and that everything about her is fake. Even though Koju doesn't say anything about the situation, a bigger storm is brewing for Lilico. Lilico's life was in complete chaos. 82 minutes into the movie's features, Lilico is in the middle of a variety TV show, not seeing beautiful blue butterflies, which leaves her completely flustered. She completely loses it, smashes the birthday cake to the floor and later falls unconscious. This incident takes Lilico's reputation one step further down the drain. Furthermore, the man she had intended to marry is revealed to be betrothed to another woman. Lilico responds to this news by having her manager throw acid in the girl's face. Lilico's drug addiction worsens as time passes. She is found crying alone in the rain while struggling to find her pills. Her drug addiction gets so bad that she hallucinates frequently. In one particular incident, Lilico, while soaking herself in a bathtub, finds her bathtub with Lilico's manipulation and cruelty towards her. After she lost her job, her boyfriend ended their relationship. She sends every detail of Lilico's dirty secrets to tabloid magazines all over the world out of spite and vengeance. The exposure of Harder causes problems for not only Lilico but also Todder's modeling agency and the hospital. Everyone soon starts mocking Lilico for her actions against her assistant. Sabotage against a press conference in which Lilico intends to address the secret of her full body plastic surgery. Lilico's body is now covered with dark marks from her decorating body. She is in desperate need of special effects makeup, and her makeup artist, who was loyal to her till the end, takes care of it. When Lilico asks him if it's troublesome to have to do such a large amount of makeup Jackson's makeup artist used, Lilico appears on the stage, ready to speak, and flashes from the press cameras overwhelm the screen, mirroring the scenes from her early life. Lilico then utters the line, "I'll show them what they want to see," and stabs herself in front of everyone. She has lost her beauty, her reputation, her connections, her job, and even the appearance she shows is almost entirely redrawn by makeup. Lilico is now nothing more than an empty shell. She no longer has anything of her own and can only show them what they want to see. While the entire film depicts Lilico's fear of being forgotten and abandoned by the public, at the very end, the camera pans around Shibuya and we see Lilico's downfall was caused by her fear of losing her fame, but in the end, she is immortalized as a legend and will never be forgotten. Koju is now the top supermodel 5 years later, and the hospital has been thoroughly investigated surrounding her involvement with the hospital. The investigator has been transferred to a different department, where he meets Chiharu, who has become more attractive as a result of both weight loss and corrective surgery. Koju spots Todder for a brief moment before disappearing while partying with her makeup artist and friends following a photo shoot in Mexico. Later, she celebrates the completion of the shoot by visiting a club known for its strange shows, where she sees Lilico about to perform while wearing an eye patch over her left eye. Overall, Haruta Tsukaruta tells the story of Lilico, an exaggerated manic fashion model. Her obsession with fame and beauty leads to her demise as a celebrity. The film is peppered with shots of Shibuya cityscapes and Gyaru girls taking photos, shopping, and getting their nails done, all things that are considered very normal but are also a reflection of the same vanity that we see in Lilico. After Lilico's disappearance, the detective who investigated her case is seen walking around Shibuya at the end of the film. "This city is full of girls like her," he mutters to his assistant. Through the lens of Lilico's story, Haruta Tsukaruta is a social commentary on beauty and obsession in Japanese youth. Ninagawa was the director of Haruta Tsukaruta. Her photographic background is evident in the masterful way colors and color juxtapositions are used to form an integral part of the composition of scenes and shots. In terms of color, there is a clear distinction between the police narrative and Lilico's narrative, whereas the police narrative features more Lilico, as well as to provide the spectator with the necessary pieces to solve the puzzle of Lilico. What do you think about this movie? Share your opinion with us in the comment section below. Please subscribe and turn on the notifications for our daily uploads. See you in the next videos and thanks for your support.